Bartholomew was not your average guy. He was a guy of many traits and talents. Now, before you judge poor Bartholomew, let me explain. It wasn't intentional. You see, Bartholomew had a terrible memory for names. He could remember obscure trivia about 18th century shipbuilding techniques, but ask him what he had for breakfast, and he'd draw a blank. So when he met two charming women named Clara and Clarissa at separate events, his brain filed them under same person. For weeks, Bartholomew thought he was dating one incredibly versatile woman who somehow managed to have wildly different interests depending on the day. On Mondays, Clarissa loved hiking and birdwatching. On Thursdays, was obsessed with salsa dancing and hated the outdoors. Bartholomew just assumed she was a complex individual with layers like an onion or maybe a lasagna. The trouble began when both women decided they wanted to surprise him on the same day. It was Saturday afternoon, and Bartholomew was sitting in his favorite cafe, sipping a cappuccino and reading a book titled How to Remember Names Without Offending People. Suddenly, Clara walked in, holding a bouquet of flowers. "Surprise," she said, beaming. Bartholomew smiled nervously. "Oh, hi Clara. What a pleasant surprise." Before he could process what was happening, the door jingled again, and in walked Clarissa, holding a box of homemade cookies. "Surprise," she said, equally beaming. Bartholomew froze. His brain short-circuited. The two women turned to look at each other, then back at him. "Who's she?" Clara asked, narrowing her eyes. "Who's she?" Clarissa demanded, crossing her arms. Bartholomew panicked. Sisters. Long-lost twins. Time travelers from alternate dimensions." Neither woman looked amused. "Bartholomew," Clara said, tapping her foot. "Are you telling me you've been seeing both of us?" Clarissa gasped. "Wait, you thought we were the same person, didn't you?" Bartholomew hesitated, then nodded sheepishly. "In my defense, your names are very similar, and I'm bad with faces, and hobbies, and, well, everything." There was a long pause. Then, to his surprise, both women burst out laughing. "You're unbelievable," Clara said, shaking her head. "But honestly, I can't even be mad. This is so ridiculous it feels like something out of a sitcom." Clarissa grinned. "You know what? I kind of want to hear how he managed to juggle this without realizing it." And so, over coffee and cookies, Bartholomew recounted his absurd misadventures, complete with mix-ups, near misses, and the time he accidentally brought hiking boots to a salsa class. By the end of the story, all three of them were laughing so hard that the other patrons were giving them strange looks. In the end, Clara